This is True Crime Tradies. Listener discretion is advised. Pussies.
Hey everybody, welcome back to True Crime Tradies. I am Chris, and with me as always is JB. How you going, mate?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. I'm a little bit, I don't know, I'm a bit tired at the moment. I had BFT this morning, just another flex. I go to the gym, everyone. And it was such a brutal class, man. I was like thinking, I don't know if I could do the pod today. I'm that wrecked. My shoulders are fucked. And I got to say, if you ever want to join a gym, BFT is the way to go. If you want to feel, well, to know what it feels like to have your soul slowly exit your body, yeah, do one of these classes.
It sounds great.
It sounds great. No, it is good. If you are into supporting your local businesses, definitely get down to your local BFT because it is worth it. They do really good work down there. But enough about the gym. I was just going to say, before we get in today's episode, mate, we have a favor to ask our lovely, loyal listeners. We want you to stop what you're doing right now. If you are driving, pull over or get your passenger to hold the wheel for you. If you are at work, tell your boss to go fuck him or herself and pull your phone out. And we just want you to share this episode right now with one or more people and just tell them to listen. But our request doesn't stop there, does it, Chris? If you're not following us on Spotify or Apple or whatever, do that now. If you're a Spotify user like us, give us a 5-star rating. And even better, if you're an Apple user, do the same, but leave a comment review because they really make our day, don't they?
Yeah, and then it's really going to spike the algorithm for both Spotify and Apple. So it's going to, because it's going to be an all of a sudden huge spike, it's going to bump our show up the list as well. So it really does help us out. I mean, it'll only take you guys like 15 seconds and it'll improve the show immensely.
Exactly. Give yourself 30 seconds. We can allow 30 seconds, can't we?
Yeah, we'll just talk amongst ourselves.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. We'll just talk. So you do that now. We'll just talk amongst ourselves while you're doing that because we really want to be able to grow this show and we want to keep refining this podcast to make it even better than what it is now. And you listening to us right now, you deserve that. You deserve us to be at our best. So you go do that now. So who are the Warriors got this weekend, Chris?
We're playing. What are we playing? Oh, we're playing the Sharks. Actually, we start in 15 minutes.
Oh shit! So you're going to be on a media ban.
When I'll be on a media ban during this anyway.
Yeah. So
what about the Saints? When are you playing?
We play tomorrow. GWS at Marvel Stadium.
You going?
Yeah, I'll be going. You know me. I'm a sucker for punishment.
Die hard fan.
Yeah, I am.
Do you have a loss on the cards?
Probably. I mean, we played pretty well against Sydney last week. We only lost by a couple of points.
Mm. How long has that been? Your has been about 30 seconds?
I think it's been about 30. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Welcome back, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for doing that. You didn't miss much.
No. So when I go check my phone later, if we don't just absolutely get pounded by reviews and new followers, I'm going to be pissed. Well, actually, by the time this episode gets actually put out there on the air, about a week and a half from now, so I might be waiting a while.
Yeah,
but that's okay. Okay, let's get into the show, Chris. What have you got for me today?
Well, in light of us joining the 1159 Media Network this week, I wanted to do a 911 call for our listeners as a bit of a homage to the flagship show on the network, 911 Calls podcast. So we've got another amazing, hopefully, 911 call. Actually, it's not a 911 call. I lie. This is a 999 call because it was done from the UK.
I feel like this is just an excuse for us to do accents. Is that the case, Chris?
Busted. All right, we're going to play that one for you guys now.
Charles, please, what's the emergency? My girlfriend has let me the cat eat my bacon. Sorry? My girlfriend let the cat eat my bacon. Right, okay. What would you like the police to do with regards to that, sir? Just, I'm in the mood to buy out. So you want to beat up your girlfriend because the cat's eating your bacon? Yeah, no speak. You what? I want to press charges. Against who? Your girlfriend or the cat? You are, well, Who do you want to press charges against, your girlfriend or the cat?
Both of them.
Right. So, it's not a criminal offence to let a cat eat your bacon, okay? And we don't arrest cats. I'm very sorry.
No, but my girlfriend allowed the cat to do it.
Right, I'm very sorry, sir, but it's not a 999 emergency because your girlfriend let the cat eat the bacon. I do apologise, but it's not a police matter.
Okay, then.
Okay,
Okay, love.
thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was so good.
I love how polite the British are as well. Okay, love.
Okay,
thank
love.
you, bye-bye. Sorry, it's actually not an offence to let your cat eat the bacon.
My girlfriend's fucking cat ate the bacon.
Who do you want to charge? Both of them.
I don't blame you. I'd be pissed too if my girlfriend's cat ate the bacon.
Oh, what a cracker. I love that
Yeah,
guy.
we know how we feel about cats as well.
Yes, particularly me.
Yeah, particularly you. We're going to end up on Don't Fuck With Cats 2 with all our stories on cats. But, oh, man, that's so good. That's a good one, Chris. Well done.
Thanks, mate. Thanks. Well, speaking of sucking on my bacon, what do we have today, mate?
I don't recall there being anyone talking about sucking on someone's bacon, but okay. Well, today we are doing
Worst segue ever.
that was worth it. Today we're doing the Netflix documentary American Nightmare.
Emergency.
My girlfriend, Denise, got kidnapped last night.
And you didn't call last night when this occurred.
I was tied up.
Tell me what happened.
I wake up. Bright light blinding us. Taser goes off. And I see they're wearing wetsuits.
What did they swim in? So what happens next?
Then asked Denise to tie my hands behind my back.
Did she discover something?
Found text messages.
Is she mad? Accuse you of cheating? There's blood in your house.
Do you know where she is?
I didn't do anything. Yeah, you did.
Oh my God, it's her.
I just got a message. She's walking over to my house.
I'd never heard of a case where the kidnappers drop their victim at the front door of their house.
We thought she's this innocent victim. She looks more like a suspect.
Police now wondering, is Huskins a real-life gone girl? Something else has happened here.
Maybe this is about revenge.
We find zip ties, toy guns, and a blow-up doll.
Can this get any stranger?
Who's really behind all of this?
And they get an email confessing to the crime. Did we all get this wrong?
We start this doco back in March 2015 in Vallejo, California. Did I pronounce Vallejo right?
Well
Was
done.
it spelled Vallejo or something
I
like
was
that?
waiting for you to
Vallejo.
phonetically read it.
Yeah, Vallejo.
We
Yeah.
start off in Vallejo.
Vallejo. And like all our favourite documentaries, this one starts off with a 911 call.
Emergency.
Yeah, my girlfriend got kidnapped last night.
What do you mean she got kidnapped?
The caller's name is Aaron Quinn, and he explains that his girlfriend, Denise Huskins, has been kidnapped from their bedroom, and his story is wild. Right from the start, this call sounds suspicious as hell, and I think the 911 call operator is getting a similar vibe to that too. He claims that he was given sedatives and tied up while the intruder kidnapped his girlfriend, leaving him inside the house completely unharmed. Apparently, it took him all night and most of the morning to get himself untied, but then he waited till around 2 p.m. to call the police. So without knowing any of the details, I'm already convicting this man of first-degree bullshit and murder. I don't know about you.
Yeah, right there with you.
Police arrive at the house and clear it to make sure that any possible intruders are no longer there. And after they're sure there's no one else there, they talk to Aaron about what's going on. Aaron explains to them that he woke suddenly in the night with flashing lights in his eyes, like a strobe light, and sort of like the disco dancing club. Then the man said Aaron lay face down on the bed. My first thought would have been here, like, how the fuck do you know my name?
Yeah, it'd be running through your head like, okay, who is this? Like, what enemies or who do I know that could possibly do this?
That's right. So then Aaron was forced to take a sedative. The officer asked him if they happened to be drinking or doing drugs the night before, because this whole thing seems really, really odd to them.
Yeah, and Aaron seems extremely calm for, like, considering his girlfriend just apparently got kidnapped. He's a little bit too chill for my liking.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe he just didn't like her. Yeah, but and the thing is, I'd be freaking out too, but I'm thinking maybe it was the drugs that were making him so calm, because he also appears to be a fair bit out of it at this stage, and it's hard because his demeanor might just be all over the shop, but it's like he seems that way in the documentary as well when he's getting interviewed. He seems like a very chilled, level-headed dude.
Yeah, but there's a time to fucking, amp it up a little bit, Aaron.
Yeah, maybe. He could be just like me. I think my wife has said before, I could be getting murdered next to you and you'd be like, it's all good, fine, just relax.
Just ease into it.
Yeah. Something type of whinge. Anyway, the police bring Aaron down to the station for an interview, and this is only about an hour after he made that 911 call, but it's been 10 hours since his girlfriend Denise had been kidnapped. So before getting stuck into the questioning, they take a DNA sample. I think this must be just a normal thing they do. There's been a crime. They want to make sure he's not involved. They take all his clothing for testing. He's clearly a suspect to them here. You sort of get that feeling. And with what he's about to tell them, it's not exactly helping his case. Detective Matt Mustard, a.k.a. Colonel Mustard, we're going to refer to him right now.
Is Colonel Mustard, is he from Cluedo?
Yeah, I looked into that because I'm pretty sure he was a character on Cluedo, but I think he plays one of the suspects, not the detective.
Oh, okay.
And it's this like fictional character, Colonel Mustard, that comes from like the 1800s or early 1900s, and yeah, it was an actual person that it's based off. But
geez, you went all the way back.
Then I stopped caring. So Aaron's trying to explain from the very beginning, and see if there's anything he can remember about the night. Aaron says Denise came over to the house around 6 p.m. They had pizza and a few drinks, which then led into a discussion about Aaron's ex-fiancée, Andrea. All three of them work within the same rehab unit as physical therapists, and the relationship between Denise and Andrea was shaky at best, and it appears that Aaron hasn't really gotten over the breakup. Andrea had actually been cheating on Aaron, but despite now being with Denise, he was still trying to get back with Andrea. So he's been a bit of a naughty boy. So around 3 a.m., he is woken by a bright white light shining in his eyes, basically blinding him, and he sees laser dots going across the room. He hears a taser gun going off, and the man say, Aaron, lie face down. The intruder then tells Denise to tie Aaron's hands behind his back using zip ties, and then has completely blacked out swimming goggles placed over his head.
So odd.
And along with the weird swimming goggles, a pair of headphones are placed over his ears with, it's this wind chime music, that's the way he describes it, that's playing, but it also has a pre-recorded voice telling him that they are going to take his vitals. This is so weird. The recording says his blood pressure is going to be taken, and he feels the compression strap around his arm get tighter and tighter. He was then told he was going to be given a sedative mix of diazepam and NyQuil. Did I butcher that? I'm terrible with those type of names. I got it. Okay, good. Thank you. And he was told to drink it immediately and then lay back down. Aaron's now thinking to himself, you know what? I'm feeling a bit chilly. May I have a blanket, please, kind sir?
Aaron.
Aw. And the intruder says, oh, sorry about that. I forgot how cold it was in here because we're all wearing wetsuits. What a polite kidnapper.
This is so fucking bizarre. So they're all wearing wetsuits.
Yeah.
They got blacked out swimming goggles.
Yeah.
Wind chime music coming through headphones. It's just...
And
as bizarre as it is, it also sounds organized as well. Like, okay, now we're going to take your vitals as a pre-recording.
It does.
It's so bizarre.
Yeah, and they're all wearing Kramer's cologne, the beach, as well, just to go with this beach theme that they're going with. And notice the language here, too. The kidnapper is saying we and not I, suggesting there's at least 2 perpetrators involved in this. The intruder takes Denise into a different room and brings Aaron down to the couch and says to him, "We have a problem. This was intended for Andrea." And Andrea had actually been living in that house up until about 6 months ago.
Yeah, at this stage, the detective, he's rubbing his face going, mate, this is the biggest fucking horseshit story I have ever
Have ever heard.
have ever heard and heard. Just tell me what the fuck you do with your girlfriend and call it a day. Like,
yeah, exactly. So
it's so outlandish.
It is. So apparently the intruder says, "Oh, well, we're just going to take Denise then because you can pay them enough money to make it worth their while," which would be around about $15,000 in ransom money. And $15,000 is such a random and small amount to risk life imprisonment.
Yeah.
But anyway, you know. He's then told a surveillance camera is being installed in the lounge room of his house, and if he exits the view of the camera, Denise will be hurt. Denise is tied up and she's placed in the back of Aaron's car and then driven away. By this time, the sedatives kick in for Aaron and he drifts off to La La Land. There's nothing like a good drug-induced sleep coma, isn't there? I love it. So around 6 hours later, Aaron wakes up. It's now 11:30 a.m. And remember, he didn't call 911 until 2 p.m., but we'll get to that. He sees a square red tape outline on the floor. It's almost like marking out his boundary. So he's not allowed outside this red boundary. And he also sees the security camera that they installed mounted on the ceiling in the corner of the room. He thinks, okay, I can't leave this square. I can't call the police. And even though they left his phone on the coffee table in front of him, he just sits there for about 2 hours. And like 2 hours of torture, no doubt. Like not knowing if Denise is okay. Is she being tortured, raped, or is she already murdered? He has no idea and he can't even call anyone for help. You know, I wonder what he was doing on his phone. We would have been doing Wordle.
Yeah.
To pass the time. And then texting each other. What'd you get today? Did you get 2? Did you get 3?
2, you cheater.
His phone finally beeps with an alert email from the kidnappers demanding $15,000 paid in cash. So he quickly gets onto his bank about how much he could advance and emails the kidnappers back saying that he could only get $3,500. What a shitty bank. There's no response from the kidnappers, so he just decides he can't just sit there. So he makes the decision to call police, and that's the 911 call we heard earlier. So I guess that makes sense now why he waited so long. It was just that fear that he was being watched. And
especially if the camera is there and hooked up.
Yeah, exactly. So Colonel Mustard is asking Aaron how they would have gotten into the house. Aaron tells them neither the front nor the back door were kicked in, but the way they got in must have been very well planned. Like I think you mentioned that earlier, just because there seems to be no forced entry. They knew names. Everything was planned down to the very last detail, even with putting the earmuffs around their ears, playing this wind chime music, saying, "We're going to take your vitals." Weird as fuck. So the story hits the news and literally everyone is pointing fingers at Aaron, saying it's got to be him behind this apparent kidnapping for ransom. I'd be thinking the same thing. We can't really blame them. Even crime journalist Henry Lee says the most kidnapping cases are not stranger related. So they are thinking it has to be someone close to Denise. Plus the kidnapper knew Aaron by the name, so it's not exactly far-fetched.
Yeah.
Denise's parents are 400 miles away and wondering what the fuck is going on. This is only a new relationship and they've never met this Aaron bloke before. So they're looking at him with weird eyes as well.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Aaron's parents are more local and they head down to the police station to console their son. But they are told they cannot see him because he's being questioned in relation to what's going on. They are instead put into another room and interviewed about what type of person Aaron is. They tell the detective Aaron was a really easygoing kid. Like he was the captain of the football team. He was a real heartbreaker.
Aren't they all?
Sounds a bit like you, Chris.
How many fucking captains of the football team are there? You always hear it. Oh, he's captain of the football team. What does it just change week to week?
Yeah. Well, so apparently he'd never been in trouble with the police or been a drug taker. Maybe he's not like you. And like I said before,
Hey,
he was working.
only Viagra.
He was working at a hospital as a physical therapist, which is how he met Denise, because they're all working together in this rehab unit. And so was Aaron's ex-fiance. It must have been so super awkward there.
Yeah.
So obviously they want to bring in Andrea for an interview because it sounds like she is definitely wrapped up in the shit show somehow. Because not only because of the awkward love triangle, but because the intruder told Aaron that she was the intended target. She tells the detective that they broke up on very bad terms after she cheated on Aaron, but she feels the way Aaron acts around her at the hospital, he would be very open to the idea of them getting back together. So Aaron is quizzed a little bit about this, and he discloses that Denise did actually find text messages he had sent his ex-fiancée about getting back together. He hadn't been cheating on her as such, but it seemed like he was having an emotional affair, and a fight occurring the night she allegedly gets kidnapped is not looking good for Aaron.
Yeah, and I think it's around this time the detective, he tries to trip Aaron up a little bit. He says, did you truly love Denise? And Aaron pauses for a little bit and he says, I do love Denise.
Yeah.
I think the detective was trying to see if he had mentioned Denise in the past tense.
That's a good... Oh, I hadn't thought of that. And also, this being a relatively new relationship, they might not even told each other they loved each other yet. You know, like, he'd only broken up with Andrea 6 months prior. So him to jump... I don't know how quick he jumped into this new relationship. He still had feelings for Andrea, so I'm not sure. I thought that's why...
Caroline and Sandy, they loved each other on the second date.
Yeah.
So.
That's because he was an absolute 10.
Ooh, look at him in that kilt. Ooh, the things I'll do.
Come on, wind.
Come on, wind. Oh, look at that Argus.
Oh, God. A huge search team is now out there, along with sniffer dogs and boats with sonar equipment checking the waterways. Their house is completely taped off, and the police are all the way down the street looking for any clues at all. None of the neighbours seem to have heard or seen shit, and they're all shocked at anything that could have happened in their quiet little community.
I loved one of the neighbours pops up in an interview, and she goes, who kidnaps for people for ransom these days anyway? It's like, that's so 1990s.
I'm pretty sure they were Asian. Literally, no one had heard anything suspicious that night, and the detective is agreeing with everyone that this seems a little odd and, quite frankly, made up. Colonel Mustard is calling bullshit on Aaron's elaborate story and starts grilling him.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be completely square with you. Your story's very elaborate and in some ways far-fetched in my mind.
I trust me, I know.
Listen, I'm here to find the truth. I'm a puzzle maker. And I put a lot of puzzles together. I don't think she was kidnapped from your home. What do you think? I think something bad happened in your house, and I think it happened between you and her.
No. Oh, no.
So Mr. Mustard says, no one kidnapped someone for $15,000 in wetsuits. What, did they swim to your house? Come on, mate. It just doesn't make sense. Apparently, the blanket off the bed was missing also. So to detectives, it's obvious whatever happened to Denise happened in that bedroom. It's like, well, yeah, he explained that's where it happened. Well done, Columbo. You know, he told you it happened in the bed. Anyway, so he tells Aaron that they have found blood in the house, which is currently being tested. The detective is demanding to know the truth about what he did to Denise, but Aaron is sticking to his story and protests that he didn't do anything. Around 4:30 a.m., Aaron doubles down with his story and agrees to take a lie detector test with an FBI agent, Peter French. Big mistake. Remember, people, I always say no comment and don't take a lie detector test. No matter what, and you'll hear this on the other true crime podcasts as well, no matter what the result, if the police think you are guilty, you are guilty. We've seen this over and over again. So as soon as the test is finished, the FBI agent pulls his chair right up into Aaron and he tells him, there is no question in my mind that you failed this test. He's right in his face as well. And Aaron is physically getting upset here, and he is saying she is gone, and you know she's gone. You are going to lose the respect of your family, and you're going to destroy them because they're going to defend you, and everything they have worked so hard for is going to go down the toilet.
Oh, this part was so intense to see on the security camera. Like, he's literally knee to knee with Aaron. He's got his hand gripping him on his shoulder while he's saying it.
Oh, the intimidation tactics, and knowing it's an FBI agent as well. I think I would crumble, man.
You're going to be that cold, calculated, brutal, serial-killing monster that strangled the life out of her, killed her, and then callously dumped her body somewhere where we'll never find it.
I did not.
You know where she is, and you know what happened to her. And so you
I guess,
look at.
I guess I need a lawyer.
Hold on. What's that?
I guess I need a lawyer. I want you guys to find her. I don't know where she is.
So Aaron is now asking for a lawyer. Smart. And the FBI agents act like he's just been punched in the face. He looks so taken back by his request. But what the hell do you expect? You know, like, he's just been grilled. It's like he's been accused of something he didn't do. So, of course, he's going to get a defense attorney.
Yeah.
So, defense attorney Dan Russo gets a call about defending Aaron. And then he says, I've heard some crazy bullshit stories, but I've never heard anything like this.
Here's this middle-class guy who probably believes in the police being interrogated about the disappearance of his girlfriend. He's been down there for 18 hours. And they're making him the fall guy.
I love this guy.
Yeah.
And he looks all professional. He's wearing his shirt and tie, but he dresses it down by wearing a sports jacket over the top. It's like, I don't want to seem too serious. He's leaning back in his chair. He's like swaying side to side. He's got a messy desk in front of him. So Mr. Russo goes down to the station and he says, listen, he's given you a DNA sample, fingerprints, and everything else. If you're not going to arrest him, he is coming with me now. Aaron goes down to the lawyer's office and tells them the whole story of the wetsuit, the lasers, the swim goggles, and every other crazy aspect, and they agree that his story is fucking insane. But they listen to the whole thing, and they say, okay, tell me again, and again, and again. And he says the story exactly the same every single time. So they're really believing him now. And Aaron just wants to get this investigation going. He just really wants them to start hunting down this kidnapper and at the end of the day, find Denise.
Exactly. It must be so frustrating for that partner. Like, he knows he's innocent. So he must be going, can you just stop wasting time on me? Can we just get this investigation going? Like, let's search for her, you know? Like, it must be hard to sit there.
Yeah. And then, but at the back of your mind, and probably more so for us because we see it all the time, you'd be thinking, no, we know that they have to do this. We know that they have to go through this stage of the investigation because majority of the time it is the spouse. It is a loved one.
Yeah.
So you don't want to dismiss it too quickly. And to be fair, the story is fucking bonkers.
It is, yeah. I mean, I'd be fine sitting there with Colonel Mustard having these chats as long as I knew there was 150 other people looking for Denise out there.
That's true. Yeah, because not just pigeonholed into one thing. This is the one idea. This is all we've got, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, they did do the whole, like, looking in the waterways, checking for clues, talking to neighbours. So they have sort of, maybe they've just gotten to a point where it's like, we've got nowhere else to go on. So the defense attorney knows that there is a motive for Denise to be killed due to this love triangle. So if she does, in fact, wind up dead, they're definitely going to be pointing the finger at him and nailing him for it. But the lawyers, thankfully, like I said, they believe him. But they're smart enough to know that no one in all of North America or even the world is going to believe this story. 31 hours after Denise's disappearance, crime journalist Henry Lee receives an email titled Denise Huskins, and attached is an audio file.
They get an email, subject line Denise, and there's an audio clip on. She sounds calm as can be, not stressed, not upset, not nervous, not jittery. It sounds like she's just ordering from a menu. I'm wondering, why would someone send this to me? Did anyone else get this? I'm looking around. Is someone playing a cruel joke?
So Denise says on... Was it burp?
Sorry.
I'll start again. Denise says on the audio clip, I am Denise Huskins. Other than being kidnapped, I am fine. So the journalist is wondering why the hell he got sent this email. So he immediately goes to the police department with it. Her family come down to the station and also confirm that that is her on the recording. It's definitely her voice. Denise is also confirming random details about her life that only she would know. Like her first concert was Blink-182, and she talks about a plane crash that happened earlier that day just to prove the data recording.
Yeah.
So they are really happy that she's alive, but they still don't know where she is or if she's hurt. She did say that she's unharmed, but that she might have been under arrest doing that.
Mm.
But old mate Colonel Mustard says, okay, let's just pump the brakes a little bit. Why don't you tell me a little bit more about her character? Now he's thinking she's a bit sus. You know, does she drink a lot? How many boyfriends does she have? It then comes up in the discussion that Denise at a young age was molested. And get ready to be disgusted because fuckwit Mustard then says, oh, well, that makes sense because women that have been sexually assaulted often pretend to be kidnapped again so they can relive the thrill of it.
I could not believe he said that. Like, I know we've covered some piece of shit people and piece of shit cops in our cases, but this guy, he'd take the cake. Like, This is victim blaming to the absolute extreme. What a fucking asshole.
Yeah, it is. And I don't think I've ever heard a victim of sexual abuse say, oh, please take me back to that moment. You know, like this bigot, you just can't see that Denise is a victim and he's just continuing on with this tunnel vision that is going down, you know? So the police and the FBI are certain that Aaron is behind her disappearance and are back grilling him about it. And his lawyers are smart enough to think, I better record this.
Your relationship with Denise was on the rocks, correct?
I wouldn't say I wouldn't describe it on the rocks.
Did she scream when she was taken out of the house?
No.
Okay. Did she fight at all about being taken hostage?
I never heard her scream.
Does she know that you have money?
She's aware of my finances,
She's aware of your finances. Did it ever come to mind that maybe Denise was behind this?
Now the cops are thinking, well, maybe Denise set this whole kidnapping up to get money out of Aaron. Because, Chris, $15,000 is going to set her up for life, you know?
That's right. It is life-changing amount.
But soon enough, all their questions are going to be answered because 48 hours after Denise was kidnapped, she turns up at her parents' front doorstep over 400 miles away. So Denise is back, which is great, but she's acting really strange. It's not really looking good for them at all. She isn't talking to the police, and she's shielding herself from the media like she's a criminal. It's all very bizarre, and the police are pissed.
A Huntington Beach police officer briefly spoke to Ms. Huskins, and all indications initially was that she would be cooperative with the investigation. As of right now, we have not heard from Ms. Huskins, and we are no longer in contact with any of the family members. The statement that Mr. Quinn provided was such an incredible story, we initially had a hard time believing it, and upon further investigation, we were not able to substantiate any of the things that he was saying.
The police think this whole thing was staged and set up by either Aaron, Denise, or both of them. And they are not shy in letting the media know this. And of course, the story of it all being this hoax spreads like wildfire with the media. Not only is this whole story so outlandish, but what kidnapper would drive their captor 400 miles away over 2 days and then just drop them off near their parents' house and take off?
Yeah. Well, apparently that movie Gone Girl with Ben Affleck, that'd come out the year before this happened. So this movie Gone Girl, it's about a wife finding out her husband's cheating on her. So she stages her own kidnapping to set him up for the murder. But she ends up showing up in the movie alive as well. So now the cops are thinking, oh, okay, well, now it's got to be this scenario.
Makes sense. It's a movie. Have you seen the movie?
No, I don't think so. I thought I did, and then they showed a little bit of it in this documentary. I went, no, I definitely have not seen it.
Yeah, they show you that scene where the kidnapped wife shows up and she's fully covered in blood and there's media all around. It's really dramatic. It is a good movie, and I'm not a big fan of Ben Affleck. Sorry, Ben Affleck, if you are.
But it does have a lot of parallels between the movie from what they're saying and what's going on here.
So much so that when I first heard this story, I thought that they had made the movie Gone Girl based on this story. But this story happened a year after Gone Girl. So,
there you go.
Yeah. So we now are going to hear from Denise herself, and she just says, okay, do you want me to start from when he put me in the trunk of the car?
With the trunk shut, I'm completely in the dark. I have these tight, blacked out swim goggles on. And my hands are tied behind my back. And I'm drugged. I start to hyperventilate. I'm trying not to panic.
She's understandably freaking out, but also cautious not to panic too much because she's closed in a trunk of the car and there might be limited oxygen. That'd be a real concern. So all the thoughts of what's going on are running through her head. Are they going to torture me? Are they going to rape me? Are they planning to kill me? And the car stops. The kidnapper drags her out by her shoulders and demands her not to speak, not to scream, or it'll make it a lot harder on yourself. The kidnapper then placed her inside of the boot of a different car, and the engine is loud, and that sounded to her like a Mustang. She recognized that sound. And she's now trying to pay attention to any sounds like that she can recognize, and she's trying to count how many turns there have been. She's starting to get drowsy, though, because the sedatives are starting to kick in. And being in the boot of the car, blindfolded and disoriented, you'd have no chance.
Oh, exactly. I think even at one point she said she could just imagine the cars next to them that she could hear. They're on their way to work, they're on their way to school. And they've got no idea that there's a body in the boot of that car. It must be fucking crazy. It's so surreal.
Yeah, from now on, I'm looking at every car that way. There's a body in there. So they keep driving for a while and eventually come to a stop where the man opens the boot. She can't hear or see anything except for pine trees and the sound of chirping birds. So she is just imagining herself in some remote piece of land in the woods somewhere. I can only imagine thinking, where the fuck am I? This is creepy. Yeah. I'm nowhere near home. He suddenly grabs her by the feet and drags her into what she feels is a room with a hard concrete floor. And then he tells her, I have to finish getting ready, and shuts the door. What the fuck does that mean? Yeah. She can hear him in the next room ripping duct tape and scrubbing. And she's just thinking, am I in the middle of a horror movie right now? He comes back into the room and then guides her walking into a house. She can feel carpet, and then she feels tiles under her bare feet. He leads her into a bedroom, sits her down, then sits next to her and says, this wasn't meant for you. This was meant to be for Aaron's ex, Andrea. He proceeds to tell her that this is all part of this black market company that kidnaps people for money, and Aaron has been given instructions of what to do next. But the plan is to release you within the next 48 hours.
This whole part was fucking weird for me. It's like, like the evil villain in Austin Powers, even though you never asked, I'm going to tell you all the details of my evil plan.
Meet my associate, number 2.
So she ends up on the kidnapper.
She ends up passing out and sleeping for a few hours. And even though she's still wearing the goggles, she can still tell that the light has shifted. So it seems a lot later now. She can hear this French pop disco dance music coming from another room.
Pretty funky.
Yeah. She hears it coming from another room, this is odd because she finds it strangely comforting because it's humanizing the kidnapping a little bit more. I think she mentions that I actually likes the music.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre. He would take her by the hand and guide her to the bathroom where he would tell her that he's suffering from insomnia and PTSD from his time in the military. And he came across as very thoughtful and polite. This really put her mind at ease a lot. And she thought, well, okay, cool. If I stay calm, this whole thing might be over soon. But a few hours goes by and she hears a knock at the door. He enters with a heaviness and hesitation in his step and he says, we have a problem. We don't have any collateral to ensure that you won't speak to the police. So one of us is going to have sex with you. It's going to be recorded. And even if we think you might go to the police, we'll release it on the internet. He then follows it up with saying, we have decided it's going to be me that has sex with you. But don't worry, because I'm going to be gentle. He's such a polite gentleman.
Ooh, I hate all this stuff.
Yeah, I can tell you're squirming in your seat. So then she hears the beep of the camcorder starting and he climbs on top of her and starts kissing her like it's this romantic sort of thing that's happening.
Yuck.
I can imagine her laying there stiff as a board with these weird fucking goggles on. I don't know how this video is going to look realistic, but anyway, here we go. She describes in her mind at the time, it's almost been, she was 100% detached from her body. It's like she's just watching this happen to another woman. It's not her. And you hear that a lot in sexual assault cases. So once the assault is over, he leads her into the bathroom and tells her from now on, she's allowed to remove the goggles when he's not in the room.
These are rewards because I was a good girl. And I pull those suctioned goggles off of my eyes for the first time in over half a day. Then I look in the mirror and I'm just so detached. Like, I don't know who that is in front of, I just see.
She climbs into the shower and just closes up and, closes into a ball and watches the water go down the drain. And she said it felt like watching her hopes go right down with it.
Yes,
so sad.
It's heartbreak.
Yeah. It's the following day now, and she can hear him in the next room with his disco dancing music blasting and the sound of him cleaning. He's very, very fastidious.
He is.
Yeah. Now that she doesn't have the goggles on, she wants to figure out a way to escape, because she knows that these situations never turn out with a happy ending on the news. She scans the room and she sees the doors locked and the windows have been barricaded. She keeps scanning for a weapon she might be able to use on him, but there's just absolutely nothing in this room. There's another knock on the bedroom door and she quickly puts the goggles back on. The man enters and tells Denise they have lost contact with Aaron, and her heart just drops. He then tells her that his other associates are on the way and he has to give her another dose of sedatives as it's protocol. What is this? Some sort of business? It's like, yeah, we've got the procedure manual out and it says if someone comes over, we need to drink. So
Kidnapping 101 for dummies.
Yeah. And also, he also tells her when they get there, do not engage with them and pretend to be asleep because they're not as nice as I am. She hears the sound of a car pull up out the front and her heart rate increases. She hears muffled talking and almost like a heated conversation, and then the car driving away. The man returns alone to the room and tells Denise that they need to record proof of life, which is when that's when she recorded the audio message which was sent to the reporter. Once she completes that task, she is hoping that it's nearing the end now. But then he tells her that the men watched the tape of him raping her from yesterday and it wasn't good enough. So we have to record it again.
Oh, God.
But this time, it needs to look more consensual, like we are in a relationship and you have been having an affair. So it's almost like this Gone Girl situation, This time, she isn't going to be able to be detached from her mind like she was before. This time she's going to have to actually perform these sex acts, like pretend like she's enjoying it. And I'm thinking, how the hell is he going to be able to do this without him being seen? Because she's not going to be wearing the goggles this time around.
Well, he
leaves
taped your eyes down.
I was about to get to that.
Oh, sorry. I'm like, duh, Fred.
I'm improvising. All right. He leaves the room where she removes the goggles again and she sees 2 glasses of wine and 2 small bottles of booze. This guy's so romantic and polite. She quickly downs both the small bottles of booze and 1 glass of wine. I don't know why she just didn't take his as well before he comes back in the room. And he comes in and he goes, ooh, I see you've started without me.
Yeah, it's like he thinks it's a date or it's like consensual or whatever. He's fucking weirdo.
Yeah, totally weird. So this time, instead of the goggles, like I mentioned, like how is he going to make this look a bit more real? He tapes her eyes shut with clear tape. That sounds horrible. That'd rip off half my eyebrows if you did that to me.
I think that's the least of her worries, to be honest. But what about my eyelashes?
Yeah. So it's just to appear that her eyes are closed in the video. She hears the click of the camcorder again, and she thinks, look, let's just get this over with. Once the ordeal is over again, she finally manages to get more sleep when she's woken up by another knock at the door. The man tells her he wants to show her something.
I lift up the goggles, just enough to see.
As she sees this, I want her to know that the family is there. We love her, and we're not giving up. she's my hero. I mean, she's my little girl.
It's the first time I really break down.
The man places his hands on her back and he tells her it's time to go home. He sits her in the front seat of the car again and gives her more sedatives, secures her blindfold, and tells her he can't just drop her back at home because there are too many police looking for you there, so I'll take you to your parents' home instead. They eventually make it to the Huntington Beach area and he shakes her awake. She's still blindfolded, but she's wearing sunglasses, so it's not obvious to passing cars or anyone around. It doesn't look sus.
Yeah.
So she can see just enough through this blindfold that it's now daytime and the man's car is white. He knows the police will be asking her a ton of questions, but he tells her she must not tell them anything about the kidnappers, that they're ex-military, and also not to tell them that they had sex. And if we find out that you did say anything, it won't be you that we come after next. It'll be your family.
Mm.
So she's petrified. He removes her from the car and tells her to count to 10 slowly before removing the blindfold, then drives off. She slowly removes the blindfold, and for the first time in 48 hours, she is free. That 48 hours must have felt like an absolute eternity.
Oh, fuck yeah.
She starts walking and notices a street sign, Utica Avenue, which is her childhood street. Like, this guy seems to know an awful lot about her, about Aaron. It's bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah, really odd.
She goes to her dad's house, but he isn't home. We actually see the CCTV footage of this, and it looks so sus, doesn't it?
It does,
Because it's almost like she appears out of nowhere. She's super calm, and the story of her just getting dropped off at her dad's, it just looks too unbelievable.
Yeah, she's not sprinting to the door trying to get in. Like, she's just casually walking up to the front of the house.
She doesn't look panicked at all. So she goes to the neighbor's apartment, and before she even gets a chance to catch her breath, there are so many police officers and the media are just surrounding the house, trying to get a glimpse of Denise and just trying to get answers. One of the detectives that enters tells her that a Vallejo it's Vallejo, isn't it? Vallejo officer on the line. He's got an officer on the line, and he's offering her immunity to talk. So Denise is thinking, immunity for what? I'm the victim here. So she smartly thinks something's not right and decides to talk to an attorney first. Her defense attorney, Doug...
Good luck.
Doug Rappaport tells her, you have already given them a statement. Don't say anything else to them before we can meet in person. So obviously with Denise not appearing to cooperate with police, this only sends the media into more of a spin.
Who kidnapped her? Was there a ransom paid? And why exactly did any of this happen? We are still waiting for some of those answers as well.
Ms. Huskins has plundered valuable resources away from our community while instilling fear amongst our community members.
When Denise Huskins turned up this morning, she initially agreed to talk to investigators, but when it came time to get back up to Vallejo, she clammed up.
According to police, Huskins has hired an attorney and is hiding out in an undisclosed location.
Denise meets up with her attorney and he tells her that he believes her story, but the police department doesn't. So it's really important that they get her to do a sexual assault test like as soon as possible. Like, it's critical. They need to find this kidnapper for anyone to believe her. Her attorney, Doug, calls the Vallejo Police Department and tells them that they need to do this test right away. But the police respond with like, nah, only she comes in to do a statement with us first. And he's like, nah, we want to do the test first. But Denise...
You were kidnapped.
But Denise gets in between this little child fight and she just agrees because she knows to remove the fear, she has to take the power away from the kidnappers. So she just wants to get this over with. She goes into the interrogation room with her lawyer, an FBI agent, and Colonel Mustard. This fucking guy. They ask her to start from the beginning, and she tells the same story that Aaron did with the strobing flashlight, the laser pointers across the room, the goggles, the headsets, and the sweet, sweet drugs. She also thinks that her kidnapper was around about 6 foot tall, and he was lean, and he has PTSD and insomnia, and he was ex-military, because he had told her this stuff.
Yeah. Like when she was going through these details of the rape and everything like that, and how he recorded them, Like, she's reliving these horrific memories in detail, and you can see how upset she is. And she's just like tears in her eyes and her face in her hands. It just seems like the detectives, they just still don't believe her at all.
No, Colonel Mustard's not having a bar of it. So once the interview's over, she's taken to the hospital finally for the sexual assault exam, and they note that there are micro lesions inside her cervix, which indicates that there was sexual intercourse in the last 2 days.
Yeah, surely now they start believing her. Like, there's evidence of sexual assault, and her story's lining up with Aaron's as well. Like,
yeah, exactly.
All the pieces are coming together.
Yeah, that's right. So she's hoping the police will believe her, but no, don't let the truth get in the way of tunnel vision and pigheadedness, Chris. The next day, she is taken back into the police station, and this time they are blunt, and they tell her that there is a lot of inconsistencies with her story, and it's a federal crime to lie to an FBI agent. They still think she is making this shit up, and even bring up the Gone Girl movie theory to her lawyer. Like, they obviously can't hold her on this bullshit theory. So she's able to, she's released, and she gets to see Aaron for the first time since this all happened. They embrace each other, and Aaron promises to support her no matter what. They now have each other, but they don't feel safe because the kidnappers are still out there, and they made threats to the family if she spoke to police. But the thing is, the police aren't looking for anyone. They don't think anyone exists.
Yeah, that's the worst part.
Yeah. The media are also pretty much done with this story, so they're on to the next one. But our old journalist mate Henry Lee gets another email from an unknown sender with the subject Denise Huskins kidnapping.
Yeah, the email, it reads, "We kidnapped Denise and held her for ransom. We also broke into many homes in the area that night. The kidnapping was not a hoax." And it also mentions the white Mustang convertible.
Yeah, and they also attach photos of in the email, including one of a gun with like a flashlight duct tape to it. Looks really amateurish. And there was also a photo of the bed that Denise was held captive in as well. So they're pretty much confessing all this stuff in this email because they're angry that Denise isn't being believed and being branded a liar. And this is so
the
bizarre.
oddest kidnapping ever.
It is. And to me, this feels like a little bit like lover, stalker, killer. You know, like, who's to say this email wasn't sent by Denise or Aaron? And it
true.
Makes no sense what kidnapper would do this. So I'm not sure his superiors in this black market would be too thrilled about this email. So Henry, of course, forwards it straight to the police, and they respond saying, "Oh my God, we were so wrong. We are so sorry, Denise and Aaron." No, that didn't happen. He hears crickets, absolutely nothing back from the police, so he ends up just forwarding it to the lawyers. Police are still doing nothing because they only have that tunnel vision we spoke about earlier, that Denise is making this shit up and the kidnapper is getting frustrated that nothing's been done. So he keeps sending email after email, and then one last email saying, this is really weird, "We are 3 acquaintances, 2 of which are college grads," and then goes into further details of the kidnapping before ending it with, "The Vallejo police have 24 hours to give a full apology to Denise and Aaron and admit that they were wrong. Otherwise, we're going to do it again." Do you think that they did that, Chris?
Did the cops do that?
Yeah. Do you think that they did that, Chris?
No.
No, they
I have
didn't.
no faith in Colonel Mustard.
No, neither. And it's been 10 weeks since that demand in the email that they do this apology. And there is a kidnapping 40 miles away from Vallejo in Dublin, California. And there's another 911 call.
County emergency.
We had a break-in at North Carolina Drive in Dublin. We are out there right now. I will hide in the bathroom right now. My husband's holding with them. They have our daughter out.
Talk to me, okay? How many people?
In the dark, we can't really see. There was a rainbow light that was pointing at us. We don't have to turn around. We were in bed.
Okay.
My husband followed me. He ran away.
The callers say that there was a break-in and the husband started fighting with the intruder. There was blood around the house and the husband's holding a rag up against his face to stop the bleeding. But he was able to stop the intruder from taking their daughter. She is thankfully safe, but the intruder was able to escape out the back door. The police search the back of the house and they come across duct tape and zip ties, but even worse for the intruder, it seems that he has left his phone inside the house. And you know that panic when you realize you've left your phone somewhere and you frantically tap your pockets? Imagine the scale of panic there was for the kidnapper in this situation.
Talk about kidnapping for dummies.
Yeah. The police locate the subscriber of the phone and call an attached number. A woman answers the phone and tells them that the number attached to the phone left behind is her son's number, and his name is Matthew Muller. Is it Muller or Muller?
I think it's Muller.
Muller, yeah. They discover that Matthew is a former Marine and a Harvard law graduate. They also discover that he has been a suspect in a few sexual batteries and attempted rapes. So now the police are putting together pieces with the zip ties and his history of sexual assault. And his intentions with the 22-year-old daughter was pretty clear. The police tell Matthew's mum on the phone that they have found his phone and they just want to be nice guys and give it back to him. So she happily tells them, yeah, he's at my cabin in South Lake Tahoe. The police gear up and they head straight to the cabin, hoping Matthew is there. They sneak up on the property and get ready to breach the front door.
That poor mum. Oh, yeah, it's my son Matthew. Here's his full address.
He's such a good boy.
Oh, thanks so much for finding his phone.
He's going to be thrilled.
He is going to be thrilled.
I got the open door on the left. I got the door on the left. Search for it. Clear. Coming out the back. You come out the back. Clear in the back. Prepare. You come back inside.
Matthew is inside the house, very quiet. He's composed and he's showing no emotions at all. They take him away in a squad car and go back to the house to keep searching it for any evidence. The house is an absolute mess and it has this overwhelming stale smell to it. But to be fair, it sort of just looks like my house 3 hours after my wife leaves for a work trip.
Immediately turns into a bachelor's pad.
Yeah, it's like someone clicks their fingers. It's just a mess. They find items tying Matthew to the attempted kidnapping, like the same zip ties, the duct tape, and they also find multiple toy guns that have been spray painted black, one of which had a laser pointer attached to it. As they look around, they realize a lot of the windows have been covered up, and they also discover a bottle of NyQuil, which is the drugs he used on his victims, and there's a syringe nearby.
Did you notice the police photo of the bed? It had a bottle of moisturizer and like a whole bunch of scrumpled up tissues next to it. I saw it, I was like, ew.
I did not notice that. Is it like the scene from Me, Myself, and Irene?
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Did your lips get as chapped as
my
mine?
lips were chapped.
Outside, they discover a stolen white Mustang convertible, get this, with Matthew's ID inside. Now, this is, to me, this is sounding like a cover-up. No one's this stupid.
Didn't he go to Harvard?
Yeah.
Hang on a minute.
He's wearing a Harvard jumper. He's like Andrew Bernard wearing Cornell. On one of their cars, on the Mustang, the GPS system had a bunch of different addresses that he had punched in it. It's like stupid people. They don't realize that there's GPS and it holds data. Inside the boot of the car, or trunk to our American listeners, there is a male blow-up doll dressed in black clothing. Have you ever seen a
Matthew,
male
you dirty bugger?
Have you ever seen a male blow-up doll in your life?
No, not until this. It was fucking freaky deaky.
It was freaky deaky. He had like some sort of weird face covering on it too. It's almost like he had been using it with these home invasions as like a decoy to make it look like there were multiple people there. A bit like the scene in Home Alone where it's just all the silhouettes dancing inside the house. That's what I thought. They also find there's a nylon belt which had in the pocket a pair of blacked out swimming goggles. And as they take in a closer look at these goggles, they notice a single blonde hair attached. So they quickly bag it into evidence. And any armchair detective is putting two and two together here. It's Denise's hair. But meanwhile, Denise and Aaron are being seen as liars from the police and the public, and they're being bombarded with hate and online, and it's just everywhere they go, it's just they can't escape it. They end up hiding out in their parents' house, still wondering if they're going to be prosecuted for this apparent hoax. They said they felt like fugitives on the run. They couldn't just keep moving forward with their lives. It just must have been so hard for them not having the police believe them. And what makes matters worse, they discovered that the FBI agent that was interviewing them used to date Aaron's ex-fiancée, Andrea.
Yeah, like surely this is a huge conflict of interest in the case.
You would think so.
How
And
is
the
this
lawyers,
allowed?
mate, you would think so, and the lawyers thought so too. So they decided to write a letter to the Inspector General, but they are told, and it's that it was deemed unproblematic. Seems pretty fucking problematic to me.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Dublin police are running Matthew Muller through the system and trying to work out who this blonde hair belongs to. So you remember this other incident happened in another complete different state, and you haven't got one hand talking to the other. They have no idea that these two are linked at this stage. And this is where we meet Officer Misty Caruso. Like, she's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
Like, she's this new
such a hero
detective.
in
She's
this.
this up-and-comer, and she's going through the file where he is a suspect in it. The first was from 2009, so 6 years prior to this incident. 40 miles away, a man entered a 32-year-old woman's home at 3:30 a.m., all dressed in black, physically restrained her, blindfolds her with tape, forces her to drink NyQuil, and tells her that he's going to rape her. I mean, it all seems pretty similar, you know?
Yeah.
She pleads with him not to rape her because she had been raped in the past. He tells her that he doesn't want to victimize her again, and he leaves. It's this guy's behavior is so odd.
I think in this stage he must be still ramping up.
Yeah.
Like do you know what I mean? Like he would have started with, you know, fucking as like a peeping Tom or whatever it is, and then sort of escalated, but he's not quite at that level yet. So then that's when he can still humanize him and then leaves.
Yeah, true. But even in Denise's case, he's still being nice in a way. It's really odd.
Yeah.
It's really odd. So Matthew was a suspect on that case because he was seen hiding in the bushes watching her from her house like a few weeks prior to that incident. But because there was no DNA evidence left at the house, they couldn't charge him and the case remained open. There was no mention of the goggles in that report either. So Officer Misty knows this blonde hair must have come from somewhere else or a different case. So she hears about another similar case in the area where a woman is woken up about 4 a.m. when an intruder jumps on top of her in bed. She starts screaming and the man says, "Tracy, it's okay. Stop screaming or I'm going to gag you." Again, he knows her name.
Yeah.
He ties her up with zip ties. He puts on these blacked out goggles on her and he forces her to drink a sedative. He then tells her, "I have some bad news. I am unfortunately going to have to rape you." Tracy begs and pleads with him not to rape her, and she notices him it must have been over a period of time. She's just pleading for this, and she notices him go silent for a while. He sighs and he mutters, "I can't do this. I'm so sorry. This is probably gonna mess you up for some time. You might want to look at getting a dog. It would be good protection and might stop this from happening again." He gave her crime prevention advice. What a nice guy.
Yeah. So bizarre.
The officer notes that Tracy had long brown hair, so the blonde hair obviously couldn't have come from her. But people do dye their hair, so it's not obvious. So the hunt for the right person continues.
This is turning into Cinderella with a glass slipper.
Yeah, that's it. Then Officer Misty hears about this case back in 2014, nicknamed the Mare Island Creeper. Sounds like you. Where a man was peeping through girls' windows at night and taking photos of them.
Well, now it sounds like you.
Yeah. Busted. The police weren't really doing anything about it, even though this was happening night after night. So the girls end up taking matters into their own hands and follow him home one night. They discover that he also lives on Mare Island, is ex-military, and is a lawyer. All fingers and
There's
toes.
nothing like teenage girl pack mentality. Like,
yes,
we're going to fucking take it into our own hands. You know what? We're going to stalk you, motherfucker. See how you like it.
Imagine Rosie ended up at your door.
Oh, God.
So all fingers and toes are pointing at Matthew Muller for all these crimes. One of the detectives working on the case said the peepings continued until the Gone Girl case involving Denise Huskins in 2015. Officer Misty looks up this case and sees a photo of blonde Denise Huskins, and she is so excited. She quickly calls the FBI agent looking after the case, Andrea's ex-boyfriend, and they set up a meeting to go through everything they have on Matthew Muller. She shows them the zip ties, the duct tape, and the spray-painted toy gun with a laser pointer taped to the side, and they pause. This is the exact same gun in the photo that was sent to the journalist months ago. They then see the blacked-out goggles with the blonde hair attached, and they seem visibly shocked and now start to admit that they may have been wrong with their hoax suggestion.
Just maybe.
Just a tap. Just a tip.
Just the nub.
Yeah.
Breaking news at noon in the mysterious Vallejo kidnapping saga.
Major break in a strange kidnapping case in California.
A kidnapping case that was once compared to the movie Gone Girl.
There's been an arrest in the Denise Huskins kidnapping. This was real all along. Denise and Aaron were telling the truth. I'm floored.
Authorities initially said Huskins was lying about her kidnapping. Now we've learned from the arrest warrant documents that Denise reported she was sexually assaulted by her captor.
Now that Matthew Muller has been arrested, Denise's lawyer is able to go through the affidavit. This will show the steps that the detectives took throughout their investigation, and it clearly shows that there was very, very little work done within the kidnapping side of the case, but instead they focused their whole time and attention in prosecuting Denise and Aaron for this so-called hoax. They keep reading it and they see the result of Aaron's lie detector results that he told he had failed miserably. And the affidavit states that the test conducted had unknown results. So it was inconclusive.
Fucking liars.
Yeah, fucking liars. It also disclosed that Aaron had his phone taken off him during the first nights of the interview and placed in aeroplane mode, even though he had told them that the kidnappers were planning on contacting him via his phone about the ransom. During that time, there were 2 missed calls from private numbers. If they had answered and traced those calls, they could have traced right down to a 200-meter radius of where Denise was being held, and potentially could have stopped the second rape from ever happening.
Oh, God. See, they had tunnel vision right from the very start.
Yeah. It's sickening knowing that they could have prevented that second rape.
Yeah.
That makes your blood boil more than anything, that they were just sitting on their hands and refusing to look at anything else. The police completely botched this investigation and fueled the media's bullshit headlines, and we really hope there's some sort of repercussions for the Vallejo police involved in this. Vallejo, I know, I can get it. It's time for the trial, and Denise is looking forward to confronting Matthew up there on the stand. Denise has never seen his face in person, and he has never seen her without the goggles or tape across her eyes. She wants to stand up there and force him to look her in the eyes and face what he has done.
And I knew that standing up there, I was going to turn to him and make him see me. And I stared right at him, and I said his name. Matthew Muller. Now we meet face to face, eye to eye. I am Denise Huskins, the woman behind the blindfold.
Oh, good on her. She's such a strong person. Like, I loved it.
Yeah, I loved it too, and I love it when victims find the courage to front up to their abusers. It's such a good way for them to regain that power in the courtroom.
Yeah.
It's so good, and just to see them, I know they're weak in that moment, and it's really good for the victims to be able to use that. So Matthew Muller ends up getting found guilty, and he is sentenced to a total of 40 years for kidnap, robbery, and rape. But he wasn't charged for the attempted rapes or peeping Tom incidents we spoke about earlier. So he got away with that scot-free, even though all the evidence sort of points towards it was him. There was no real trace evidence, so to speak, no DNA or anything, and no one knew what he looked like. He was really good at what he did, unfortunately. He also never revealed why Aaron's ex-fiancée Andrea was the intended target of the kidnapping.
That was bizarre. I want to know that.
I want to know that too, because the fact that he knew Aaron's name, he knew Denise's name, or maybe he didn't know Denise's name, but it's like I'm thinking he somehow knew them from the rehab center.
Well, I reckon maybe because he knew Tracy's name from if it was him.
Yeah.
So maybe he really stalked the people he wanted to attack first.
Yeah, he could
And
have just gone to their
Denise.
mailbox.
Yeah, and he stalked Andrea when she lived there.
Yeah, that's possible, but we never get any confirmation of that in the
Yeah, I hate
documentary.
that. Just tell us all the details we want to know.
Yeah, even if you don't even know them, go to the jail, find out, and tell us. So there was a recorded deposition involving the chief of police in Vallejo where he told the lieutenant holding the press conference about Denise to, quote, burn that bitch. It's just disgusting.
Shit.
Yeah, but no officers involved, which this is fucking crazy. No officers involved in Aaron and Denise's case were disciplined. And in fact, lead detective Matt Mustard, Colonel Mustard, was awarded Fuckwit of the Year. Officer of the Year that year.
That is the fucking craziest part of the story.
It is. It's nuts. But good news, Denise and Aaron sued the city of Vallejo for defamation and settled out of court for $2.5 million. That is so good. Should have done the Dr. Evil.
Yeah.
At the end of all this, Officer Misty wants to meet Denise and Aaron. And when they get to see each other, they just hug each other and they're crying. They talk for a long time. And Denise comments that this whole time, she just wanted someone in law enforcement to call a hero. And Officer Misty Caruso was 100% that hero.
Yeah.
And I hope I haven't butchered that name. I'm sorry, Misty.
If it wasn't for Officer Misty, God knows what would have happened to Denise and Aaron. The Vallejo police, they definitely weren't looking for a kidnapper.
No.
So they would have been persecuted by the media forever, just known as these hoaxes.
Yeah, and it took this up-and-comer, just to come through and look at the case properly without that tunnel vision. And luckily, the kidnapper went to another state to do this. Otherwise, it would have been the same fuck with detectives. And you never know, they probably would have pinned that second kidnapping attempt on Aaron. That's how bad they were. So we finished the documentary on a happy note, though. We see Denise and Aaron walking down the aisle. They're getting married, and they end up moving down to the coast, and they have two little girls named Olivia and Naomi. So it's a happy ending to this horrific story.
I did not expect that ending.
No, I didn't expect that ending either.
Oh, that was good. Jeez, what a fucking mental kidnapping, though.
Mental kidnapping. The whole case was just insane from the start. And I don't want to play devil's advocate, and I don't want to be hearing about, you were on the team police because I was a police officer. You can see from their point of view that this story seemed fucking bonkers from the start.
Of course it's crazy, but as I said before, with Aaron sitting there answering all their questions, you still want other investigations going on and other searches going on. It seemed like they just focused on Aaron.
Yeah, 100% they did. And I think it should have shifted when Denise turned up alive, because then it was their narrative or what they expected. They expected to find a body. They expected that Aaron was the perpetrator for that, and that's the story. That's just, and I'm sure they've heard it a million times and they've seen this a million times. So yeah, odds are that Aaron had done something to her, but then they just ignored the facts after that. It's like, nah, Denise, she's alive. Oh, fuck it. They must have made this up.
Yeah.
So what did you think of the documentary overall?
Loved it. The whole time was just insane hit after insane hit. It was just full on. It was 2 parts, wasn't it?
It was 3 parts.
3 parts? It didn't feel like it. It didn't recycle information like some of them do with 3-parters.
Yeah.
This one, it was awesome right from the start to the end. I loved it.
Yeah, I agree. I love the way they told the story, because you heard from Aaron in episode 1. You only see Aaron, and he's telling his story about what happened. And then when you see Denise getting interviewed, because if you don't know this story before you're watching it, you're like, oh, she's okay. She's fine. She's alive. This is bizarre. And you sort of can see straight away from when you see her that she wasn't up to anything. That they weren't the guilty party here. And even by part 3, you still don't know what the fuck has happened or what's going on or who the perpetrator is or even how they were connected. And even by the end, we still don't know how they were connected. We mentioned that earlier, but yeah, really, really good documentary. I loved it.
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, good choice.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Well, anyway,
and modest and handsome.
Thank you. You've said that so many times on the pod. I might go back and listen to our old episodes and go, yeah, Chris is right. He says that a lot.
Just for a
pick
me up every now and
then.
then.
Yeah, exactly. I need a bit of a pick me up. So anyway, mate, a great episode. What do we got next week?
Well, the next one we're going to cover is the super famous and well-known case, the Laci Peterson case on Netflix.
I remember before I met Scott, Laci telling me all these things about him. And I remember saying, as her mother, I hope he's not filling her with crap. I have learned to go with the gut feeling.
911.
Yes, my daughter's been missing since this morning. She's 8 months pregnant.
I've had missing person cases before, but this one was bigger already.
When Laci met Scott, she was very giddy. They were just a cute couple. They acted like newlyweds.
Scott wasn't engaging the media. We figured that eventually he would talk to us.
We're at the police station, and the phone rings. This lady tells me she's been dating Scott Peterson.
So what do you want to be together with me?
The cloud of suspicion over Scott was growing every day.
Laci believed that he was who he presented himself to be. He was getting ready to run.
He had cell phones, credit cards.
It was like a real-life soap opera happening in your living room.
This was not somebody who was waiting for Laci to come back.
You guys haven't had any problems, marriage problems. Everything's good.
Yeah, so this documentary, as you mentioned, it is on Netflix again. We're on a roll with these Netflix documentaries, but they are good, and yet super excited to get the rundown from you next week.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to us sinking our teeth into this one.
That's it, mate. Oh, good luck with your Warriors game this afternoon. Hopefully they're not getting smashed as we speak, and you can enjoy that. And until next time, Chris, try not to murder anyone.
You too, mate. All right. Love ya.
See you, mate. Bye.